So we did a couple of things of this one. I'll just quickly show you at the beginning. Just this. And then the before one, we did the opening one. So just if you're watching and re-recorded, just we did this. Shall I show you what else we did at the beginning?
It's all right. No, don't worry. That's fine.
Okay, sure. So from the next one from here, we're going to open it to this side and then really gently rolling forward. And then rolling back up. Again, just gently pulling apart. And as you're going forward, just close your arms. So a little bit of forward roll. The bend just keeps on the side a bit up. And then one more opening on this side. Rolling forward, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then back up. Good, well done. I'm going to switch stance. So you step back in and then take the other one out. And again, if you want to rearrange it to shorten onto the standing side and then without it can work. Again, you could make it harder by looping around your palm. Lengthen through the crown of your head and feel that you're relaxing your shoulders. Center step. And I'm breathing in and out. Well done. Exhale and inhale. And then one more. Really nice this one, isn't it? And then we're coming onto the straight up and back down. So palms facing down. And then this time, you know, like you're feeling again in your abdominal, in a low level. Start centering in. Still lengthening through the crown of your head. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And then we're going to do 2 more. And then we're ready for a next one. So you're going to open the arm to the side and then very slowly, because it works in the upper shoulders. You do the rolling slowly at the first part and then gently rolling forward. It pulls onto the opposite side and then the same way rolling back up, circle back up and in. Good. Open again to the side. It's nicely engaged and then slowly releasing it down. So it's going sideways, opening and releasing. One more to go. Out. Slowly down. And you feel it's really easing off, hopefully, by now. Rolling back up. Are you planning to do anything today?
I'm going to have a walk.
Ooh, nice. Where do you go to walk? Do you go to the woods?
I've started going to Trent Park.
Trent Park, nice. And you just wander off, isn't it?
I park on the Ferny Hill.
Okay, yeah.
Entrance. And then that was, when it was hot weather, it was gorgeous because you can just walk in the woody section.
Yeah.
Shady.
It is actually, we did it a couple of times with the kiddos there. And it's nice because you're actually joining back there and it's less crowded, isn't it?
Yes.
So we're going to do the bending down, the lunging. Keep the front knee bent. And then you're going to
turn around this way and then you can comment on what I do wrong.
Yeah, I see. So just watch the front knee. And as we're going down, just a normal kind of lunging. Again, don't go deep. The aim is just to bringing the bum down and up. And with the arms, just bringing up and down. So it's a bit stronger than usual. So you're just going down, pull, and then back in. Good, straighten your arms. I'm gonna change you here a bit. That's it. And then back in. Exhale, pull. That's it. And lengthening in. Breathing in. Good. And just one little watch point, just tucking the tailbone under. So before we start doing anything, feel that you're bringing the tailbone down. So just bringing the lowest part of your spine facing down instead of backwards. So if he's reaching so far out up, the load onto the lower back is greater. So if you just tilt a little bit more under and then keeping the upper body straight and then kind of like just lowering ourselves with a straight upper body. Shall we try that? Yeah. Don't worry about the arms. Don't worry about the arms. Just going straight down and up. That's it. And then back up. Good. You might need to... It's hard. You might step a tiny bit back. That's it. And drop the bend. Drop the bend. Don't need a bend. Yeah? Just balance it. So just a little down and back in. Good. That's it. That was a good. And then back up. Did you feel the lower back? Did you feel as you tilted it under?
I'm more so.
Careful.
I'm really bad at this.
I know, but like, don't worry about this. But it's good. I think and just work really small range. You can be holding on to somewhere, holding on to a chair. Grab a chair.
The wrong height though. No.
Oh. Is there any windowsill?
Yes, but no. But in front.
Okay, we can skip this one. Don't worry, we can skip this one. I want to check up on whenever we are ready to back, and maybe when we do this exercise, just skip it, because I think, you know, that's quite a lot of pressure goes on your back, and just move from there.
I do it normally if I do it with a chair for support.
Yeah, so if
hold on to a chair at this sort of...
Yeah, if you bring the, so bring the chair. So basically I have a windowsill here, holding there, tucking the tailbone under, and as you're tucking it under, it makes me upright, and then just a very tiny hinge forward, you see? And then from there, just sinking down, and then up. Just really small, because the main point is just doing it right. If it goes too far back, the load can go quite a lot to the back. But let's go. Let's move to the next one. And be rid of the bend. Get the ball a little bit on our feet. I wanted to do one more forward roll, but we already did sideways, so we could move this one at the end, and I'm going to add the forward roll at the end. So one front of the right, one front of the left. And then we're going to start with the right foot. Same nice little forward roll and back. I'm gonna switch back the camera onto the main one, because you might gonna see the recording yours.
Okay.
I don't know, like sometimes it switches and I don't know how. So let me know if it went a wrong way around.
No, it's fine.
And then roll the ball forward and backwards. And then there's one point up to see how aligned the ball or the feet is going. So mine will go do left and right, because it's just keeping the part which is not comfy. So slowly, as you're easing into that, the movement getting softer, a bit more guided in a way that it just rolls through straight and back. Well done. So we're going to open the studio hopefully in August. What do you think?
I'm being super cautious.
I know, that's why I wanted to actually ask this one. I know for people with shielding, just press a bit more on it. And we're going to keep the online classes on as well. And evening classes are going to do more online.
Okay.
But in morning classes, I'm going to open up a couple of morning classes, especially for people who I haven't seen or have extra things, just a bit of guidance. Yeah. So let me know what's your thought. And it's going to be really small setup. and then we're gonna switch sides just whilst I'm talking on the other side as well. So, you know, it's not gonna be anything like 10. The morning class is probably 4 to 5, and same with the evening. So whoever comes in the evening, half probably gonna be online and half probably gonna be in class.
Okay.
So we're just gonna be nice and easy building it out. But if you have any question anytime, just email me or call me. And it's difficult to don't give tactile feedback, but even in session, we have to be quite, you know, distance again to do all these things. So just pressing a bit stronger down onto this side as well, forward and backwards. And then we release it back. And we go to the other side and just turning the knee out and sending the knee and the foot out. Or not the knee, actually, just the toes to heel. And you could do a bit faster as he eases in. Well done. Again, I know I didn't give you any support to holding on to.
I'm okay with this.
Okay with that?
Bending.
It's nice for the balance, isn't it? And then we're going to switch onto the other side. So just standing on the leg. Sometimes I put my hand on my hips and you see my hip is just tilted like that. So I'm going to bring myself back to alignment and pretty much as it's a little bit tilted. It cannot be 100%, but more we are aware of that, that's when the activation can happen. And then just watching for our alignment, not going out of it too much. So pressing it down, and then slowly you could speed it up, forward and backwards, forward and backwards. And then we're gonna go step back down. Good. You see, it's nice little warming up our feet. Let's go slowly down onto the mat. Okay, so we're gonna use the spiky balls behind our thighs for the next one. I'll push it please to the side. And in any comfortable way, whether it's holding on to going down or just rolling forward slowly, bending the knees, lowering down to 4-point kneeling. And then 4-point kneeling, we're gonna do the rolling, cushion underneath of your knees, anything you need. And then we go just a gentle curling and uncurling, opening the shoulder blades, bringing the head down, and then drop shoulders away, tucking it under, push, and back. As many times you want to do, feel free to do. Really, really good opening. And then we back into neutral spine, so just a little bit tucked, a little bit flatten and find your middle. And just a small little dip, but still there is a tiny dip there, so it's not completely flat. And we're gonna bring in the hips from side to side. And keeping into a neutral alignment, again, it's just gives you might feel a little bit of tightness on the hips, but as long as the hips and the neutral spine kind of align, that's a nice little move. And you can start turning the head back and looking at your hip with the same kind of movement. So shifting the hips to the right, look over the shoulder to the other. Good.
Yeah.
This is Quite nice, isn't it? Just looking over the shoulder. And then back in. Good. You bring your hands a little bit forward. And then the same, keeping the back still neutral. Just a bit back and back forward. So the next one, we're going to do the same, but we're going to put the spiky balls behind, between our knees and thighs or calf, behind the knee. So when you're ready, after this few repetition, you could pop one ball behind each of your knee. Put it nice and close. And we do the same, just sitting back and then coming forward. Good, that's a good lock. And then sitting back, you start feeling out. And then back. If the ball happened to roll out or just only pushing into one angle, you could just always just reposition. And more, that's it. Well done. More you can sink into it, better it is. And you can sitting down towards your heels and stretching your arms forward. So it's a combination of both. Stretching nicely your shoulders, your mid-back, opening the lower back, and as you're kind of releasing tension from the calf, the back of your thighs, you start feeling to going a bit deeper and deeper. Well done. And we can put the ball a little bit further down, which means you can't go too much forward now, so you start sitting a bit deeper down towards the heels. And then just do either keeping the position and then rocking from side to side, or just do like this tiny, gentle forward and backwards, otherwise the ball gonna fall. And just roll from side to side. Well done. And then we're gonna do one more roll. If you are there, and you could just make it even a bit more lower down. So where the Achilles tendons are meeting or just starting the calf. Not all the way down to the heels. Lower it down. And you could just stay into this position. And as you able to push yourself back up using your hands, so press up and sit on your heels. That's it. Good. Sit back down. Sit, 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 sit. Sit, sit, sit. Good. So the ball is still under.
No, it's not.
I kind of thought. See if you can press it back a little bit. If it's too strong, just leave it. And then if you really can't stand it, take it off. Is it too strong?
No, it's just my feet go
In the needles.
cramp that I
Oh.
can't.
Okay. Let's go from there. Let's move from there, from 4-point kneeling. Hope you kind of feel it there. Do you want to stay here 4-point kneeling or move to some?
It's just when my feet are forced.
Press down. Yeah, okay. So let's stay a little bit with 4-point kneeling and get the bend ready again.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be slightly strong, but it gives you good guidance. So again, fiddling with there a little bit, looping one foot kind of in the middle, so like this. And we're going to send either the same arm under, but make sure you're holding it really tight and you're pressing it down. So if we're going to do this, if you want to work harder, we're going to bring this bend across. And then we're coming again up and back down. Okay, so choose which one is easier. And then if you bring it across, the bend is going to be kind of between this, so it doesn't really get too much in the way. And if in the same side, again, just you can move it to the inner part so it doesn't disturb you if it's on the two side. So 4-point kneeling, and you're gonna straighten one leg out, looped through. Tell me when you're ready.
Yes, I think I'm ready.
Good. Okay, so what we're going to do from here, straightening the leg out and not lifting straight away because we need to check our back. Nice little connection to the pelvic floor. So keep that on. And when the leg lifts, just tiny bit of lifting. So it's not putting any force, nothing onto our back. It doesn't need to go like this, okay? Because if it moves, the pressure goes into the back. And I work onto the bum and then the hip a little bit. So just up and back down. Well done. I know it's a bit tiring. Let's do 8, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and can you hold it there? And just only turn the toes out and back in, nothing else. Just a little bit of rotation of your feet, which opens the hips. Out, in. Try to keep the hips middle, both. And then 2 more, and we're done. Good. And very slowly, very gently bending the knee and release. How was it?
Okay, I think it's a bit weird with this cushion. I might get rid of it. It feels to put me off.
Because you cushion under your knees.
Yeah, I'll try the other.
Yeah, try to tighten the other. We're gonna just, if you're opening the band like this, and then just loop one foot in and take the other one out. That gives you a little easing off from there. It's a bit fiddly, but as we're doing so many classes online, I thought every time we need to do something slightly different just to keep you ongoing.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, isn't it? Sorry, Jenna.
Okay, it's okay. I'll just give up on this. Right, go around like here.
The band, this is all these little prompts. I love using them because they gives you some good guidance. Because I cannot be there.
Yes.
And just like doing it, even just like pressing it out and then back in, it should guide you to do it stronger on your glutes than any other way. If I'm not giving you the band, you would not feel it is strong on your bum. But just one little important thing, just watch that you're not pushing the opposite hip out. So you need to square it back down. You need to hold it strong. And then lift and lower.
Right, I think I'm there.
Are we ready?
I think so. Goodness, that took long enough.
I know. So once you're ready, center set. Bring both hips forwards down. And then remember again, just lift a tiny bit your lower tummy up. So you would rather be protected with the lower back than absolutely arching. Okay, so in the middle is where idle. And lift the leg, very small lift is perfectly fine. It's definitely guided, definitely strong, and hopefully feeling your bum. Let's go 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and we're gonna hold, and all we're going to do, the rotating the foot out and then back in. Opening it out to the side of toes, roll it back down, out, in, out, in. Last one to go. And then very slowly bend it back. Release the bend and then sit down and rest because it's strong on the across back as well. And if you want, you could just bring the forehead down Relaxing the arms by your head all the way to the side or down by your side, whichever feels the best for you. Stay there for a few breaths in and out. Again, I put you down on your heels, but just for the upper back and the lower back, repositioning or releasing. And then once you're ready, that's it. Nice and slowly come up, and we're going to lie down on our back. And we're going to do a little bit on the bend. Single leg stretching, and we might build up to double leg stretching. Any block under your head if you need. I started using this bigger one, just mine not evenly, but it's nice. Opening the collarbone and have a gentle tilt down onto my chin. We're gonna loop through the bend onto the right foot and then just rest it down back into rest position, kind of like, I start with this one, kind of like the heel down. Today, even I fiddle with that, just I wanted to relax the hip flexors. So once it's kind of done, find your hips, the hip bones, and have a little gentle rocking from side to side. Make sure the legs are relaxed here, especially from the hip joint. And you could do a couple of tilting forward and backwards. Remember, arching the lower back, flattening it back, and then find the neutral in the middle position.
Is this band round both feet?
But just one. But we could do, my aim is to go both, but at the beginning we do one. And you could lift it up already like this into one leg up. It's easier to position it. Just watch again the neutral spine. And do the same one. We're just gonna stand the leg out, similar to what we did in 4-point kneeling. Standing the leg out and back in. The bend is held, in each side. And I put my elbows down onto the mat, so I just feel a little bit rested from there. And shoulders relax. So you're just gonna do sending the leg out, bend and stretch, and then focusing on where is the pelvic floor switching on. Keep it on. Soften the joints around your groins, around the hips, and then just focus on the stretching and bending with the pelvic floor, deep lower abdominal muscles together. 2 more, and we're going to do a bit of lowering down, straightening it out, and we're going to do really small lowering until nothing is changed in the spine. So not going quick zoom up and down, just a small one. And then try to control again with this pelvic floor. And up and back down, up and back down, up and back down. Well done. We're going to bring it higher up. You're flattening a little bit onto your lower back. And then you might pass it into your other hand. And we're going to a gentle circling around. Gentle circling around. And if from there can go back into neutral spine again, it'd be really nice. Circle, gentle, and again the bend gives you the guidance. Change direction, round and round. And then we're coming across, coming across, resting onto the opposite knee. Well done. Good. Now you know this exercise. If you want just to stay in this one, just bend and stretch. Watch this hip, it doesn't rock off. Keep it back. And if you want to straighten the lower leg, just straightening it out for a bigger stretch.
Oh no, down. Yeah.
Yeah, straighten it out, that's it. If you want to feel the bigger stretch and opening from the hips. And then slowly we bring it back in the middle of the knee. And then just guide through the other one in. I bring both one in and then gently, again with switch it around. Good. Neutral spine and ready for lengthening and stretching the leg out and back in. Now the bend here might not be the best one because I could do like quite dynamically, choo, choo, choo. So try to slow it down, that dynamic movement, and connect back to the pelvic floor. See if the pelvic floor can slow this motion down, just sending it out and back in. And then you feel you're controlling a bit, so the same speed sending it out is not bouncing back the leg. Good. And you're gonna hold it there. We do small lowering up and back down, making sure that small arch doesn't change as we're lowering the leg up and back down. And then just getting a bit stronger onto the abdominal. Well done. And then we're gonna roll a little bit further up. You might feel at the beginning flattening the lower back and lifting the tailbone, but it's just a different resetting at the beginning, and you get this small arches again. If you need to bend your knee, bend your knee, and just do the circling, passing the bend onto the other side, and do a gentle, gentle circling around and round. And the other way around. And go across. First, I like just to rest on the knee, on the opposite knee. And see if you can put your hand on your hip, the same side hip, and just tilt it back that hip. And it just wants to come off, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it just wants to come back up. So we're gonna skip the stretch, isn't it? So once it's rocked back, you might feel the stretch a bit better, and you could do bend and stretch the knee. And then very, very slowly, as you kind of ready, lower and straighten the opposite leg, so the load is a bit bigger and slightly bit stronger stretch. Again, just watch that you're not fully rocking. Sometimes it helps turning the head back, so it just brings you back a bit towards the head. It's good, really nice for the hip and the thighs. And then very slowly we're gonna roll and pulling back the knee. We're gonna put both knees on it. And we're giving ourselves a little rocking. The knees to the chest, the two bends, each side of the bend come around, kind of like rocking you around and rocking from side to side. And you could go a bit forward and backwards. Anything feels round and round. Nice little release. You're gonna do this one after again. You're gonna do double tabletop stretching out with you. Okay? But before we're gonna do that, I want to make sure you're keeping the tailbone down. And then again, cueing towards the pelvic floor and softening the ribs down. Okay, so once this one is done, arms to the side, you're gonna stretch two legs out. Again, I go sideways and up. If your back anywhere feels, just please stop, okay? Please don't. There's one thing we can do extra, crossing the bend over your feet. So do you have a little cross on the bend? And then you can stretch and bend the leg. Well done. And we're gonna do another 4. And we're gonna bring our knees back towards the hips. And straightening the arms sideways out, and then do a little pulling. And you can always bring your knees closer to your chest, and then you start working on the arms. So you're pulling the arms to the side. And if you want to do some abdominal work on that, you can lift the head up. That's it. And pulling it down and back in. As you may see, I pull my knee almost like really close to my chest. So there's no big load onto my lower back. Working a little bit onto the abdominal, that's it. And if you want to do a bit stronger onto the lower one, you could always lift it back off and roll towards the tailbone to get connected all together. But this is equally quite nice, working on the upper abdominal and the arms, pulling down and apart, pulling down and apart. Well done. Another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your head down, bring your knees closer, release a little bit. And then with the bend, just give a little gap between your 2 feet, just a smaller, slightly bigger gap, stepping a little bit apart. And last little one with the bend in this position, keeping your knees again above the tummy or above the hip. The above the hip needs a bit of pressing down, so cushioning into the lower back, holding a bit stronger. Okay, arms to the side. Resting, like not resting, but pulling across the shin. And all we're going to do, pulling the feet apart and release. Pulling the feet apart and release. So the position is like this. Pulling the feet apart and in. You could keep the head down rested, the arm rested, and working onto the inner thigh strength. Yeah? So just opening and closing. Now again, keeping your knees bent close to the chest, up into proper double tabletop, the next level. And then if you want even more, opening and closing with straight leg. So this is how it builds up. Work through what things is best for you. It works again really nicely in the inner thigh. And you feel the connection if you're switching the pelvic floor on. Another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very slowly bringing knees to the chest. Release the bend, or you can hold the bend and rock around with the bend. What I do without it. Good, you too as well. And a circle around and round. You could undo the bend to the side and then slowly bringing your feet flat back down. Bringing the arms to the side, knees together, feet together. And then bringing the knees to one side, turning head to the other. Rolling in the middle and switch to the other side. Again, any tension. This is such a nice exercise around the spine, the shoulders, neck. Keeping the feet together and the knees together, imagine they glue together. And when you're coming back in, using your core to pull, to come back in. Switching onto the other side, one more on each side. And we're coming on the tummy a little bit. A bit of the shoulders again. rolling on our side and then from the side on our front. We're going to bring the bend across our back and we're going to hold onto the bend. So it's coming around the bum now, putting the forehead down, either on a block or without block. And as you're holding the bend down.
Sorry, where's that? Is it underneath as well? Is it wrapped round you?
On the top, yeah?
The top.
On the top, so on the top, straightening. Let me quickly show you. So the first one is just the shoulders up and back down. You see, like we usually working on the lifting it up and back down.
Mm-hmm.
And once we reset again the neutral spine, I took it through. And then once all is still connected, we're going to lift gently and pull apart. Okay, so the exercise will be this. And if you later can lift the head off, keeping the chin tucking under and down. All right? Okay. Let's get started together. So first, don't worry too much about the bend. Just let it to kind of be loose. And we work on our shoulders. We're lifting the shoulders off from the mat and then roll it back down. If you put your forehead down onto the mat or on a block, keeping align your neck and your head with the spine. And then the lifting of the shoulders up and back down on an extra to push it downwards, squeezing the shoulder blades together and relax. Lifting the shoulders off from the mat, squeeze the shoulder blades together and then release. So an extra point, shoulders up, squeeze the shoulder blades together and see if you can maintain this open chest position. And before we do anything with our hands, we're going to tilt the lower back and lifting the lower back up from the dip and down. Lifting the lower back up, connecting to the pelvic floor, deep tummy muscle, and again, the tailbone sending towards the heels, lengthening the spine towards the heels. And is this one connected and keeping the two together, shoulders up, squeeze them together, lifting the lower back, take a breath in, and exhale, really slowly lift the arms up, really tiny bit, and pull the bend apart. Just pulling the bend apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one more, 8, and lower it back down. So a couple of repetitions will be like this. I come up and see you, try to see you a little bit, don't worry. All I want to see, if I don't see you properly, I just keep talking. So first, just lifting the lower tummy up, shoulders up, shoulder blades together. Small lift, soften your glutes. So don't squeeze the bum and pull that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's it. And have a little rest. Well done. So I'm watching you right now. And then again, just push the shoulders away from your ears. Squeeze the shoulder bit, that's it. Lift the lower tummy, send the tailbone down, lift the arms and just hold. That's it. Just hold and pull the bend apart. Pull 1, 2, but that's it. Keep it low. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and down. How is on your back?
Yeah, that's good.
Good. So only watch point here, the biggest watch point, you're not dipping into your lower back. Feel that you're activating the front, the tummy, to lift and pushing the tummy muscles towards your inner spine. Pushing a little bit the weight towards the pubic bone. That's it. And let's try again. Lifting the arms off, squeeze the shoulder blades, and the band is just kind of hovering off above the bum or the thighs. And then pull, squeezing the arms and the upper body. That's it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And relax. Was it better?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, the next one you could try lifting the head off, but almost just like keep looking down, just 1, 2, or 3 centimeter up of the cushion. That's it. Shoulders away and lifting the lower tummy. So don't start it yet. Lift the lower tummy. Lower back is lifted. Good. And then you might hold the bend a little bit tighter because it's less control, but keeping the head off, and pull 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well done. And release. Put the pen down. Down. You can bring your hands under your forehead and allow just to soften and release anything from there. When you're coming up, put the hands under your chest, and then you might do sideways. So both hands, you might bring one knee to the side, and using your hand, using your tummy, using your knee to push back up. Okay, so there's no dipping, no pressure onto the lower back. Using your side, you might go to one side and then pushing up. Good. I don't know which one is easier, isn't it? I always feel like if you're dipping too strong, like if I ask, okay, and come up, everybody does this. And then this is not quite right on this part because again, the biggest load is here and we just work so strong not to do anything on it and just need to learn a different way, isn't it? So bring the bend back towards the mid-back. Hands on the two side, just fixing with the palms down. And we're gonna do again just a few cat stretch, lowering it down, pushing it up and down. And then back in. Now we're going to do the thread the needle with the bend. So hold one, bend a little bit across, and then going across. And then back in. You might not come fully in. You might just do this gentle going side and back. And feel the bend is like wrapping you around, wrapping around your ribs. And goes is really beautiful. You could do the lifting if you want to. You might hold the bend a bit closer and feel this nice little guidance again, twisting. If it really doesn't fit right, rid of it. Good, well done. Looking nice. It's good, isn't it, this one?
It is nice, yeah.
Always nice to do this one. And again, see when you do it to the other side, or maybe a couple of times, if you're just keeping the bend kind of wrapping around, gives you such a good feedback, bringing it down. And once you're here on the side, just bring your hips back to the middle and the twist is even more. Going down, you could hold it a tiny bit tighter and then wrap across, hips in the middle and stay there. And then back in. Good, one more. when you're ready, rolling back up and down. You pop the band by your side and we're gonna come up to down dog. Stretching on the legs, the hamstring a bit. So you're popping the hands further out, turn the toes under. And once you're ready, just shifting a little bit forward, lift the hips up. Good. Use the heel of your hand to push your bum up and push the shoulders away from your ear. Connect to the tummy and imagine you bringing your ribs towards to your legs, towards to your hips. And bicycle with your leg forward and backward. And then I do a bit of cross, bringing my knee across to the left, opening in the ribs, the hips, the legs. And we're gonna slowly stop. One more nice push, pushing the bum up and moving the feet closer to the hands. Slow walking, pushing the hips down. Fold forward, bend your knees. Finding your balance, putting the weight back towards the feet. And we're gonna roll ourselves up back. So shift, that's it. Don't rush up, don't, that's it. Bend your knees. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Rolling back up. And standing up. Couple of circles. Lifting the arms, reaching up. And then back down. And again, reaching up. And then back down. Last one. And then from here, see that you're just gently folding forward. And then back up. That's it, one more. Lifting up, stretch, and allow the chest to gently fold forward. And then back up. In the middle. Well done. Well done, Janet. No problem, my throat. Are you okay?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. I'm gonna send you the